I'm Elizabeth Kuhn with our State Champs High School Sports Show content. As always, we're presented by Lawrence Technological University. Be curious, make magic. Visit ltu.edu for more information. We can't believe the football regular season is coming to a close. Our crews have been out across the state of Michigan getting that coverage, and you can find it all on our State Champs social media channels. Just search State Champs Michigan. Some of the other sports are getting into their playoffs. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Back on the west side, we head to North Point Christian High School, where Calvin Christian took on Zion Christian with a district championship on the line. First half, Squires with a free kick. They put a shot on net, but Jack Hoekstra is able to make the save, and we head into the half scoreless. Second half, under 20 minutes to play. Mountaineers threatening this time. Isaac Francisco knocks the first shot away. Great reaction time to make the second save, and we still remain scoreless. A few minutes later, Caleb Ritzema puts one on net. His shot is blocked, but Nick Vandervenen puts the rebound in the back of the net to give the Squires a 1-0 lead. Zion Christian corner kick with 20 seconds left in the game. Holden Ryder sends it into the box, and Jacob Rosema one-times it out of the air and into the net to tie this one up with 13 seconds left. Neither team would be able to break through in overtime, and we would need a shootout to decide it. Entering the fifth round of kicks, Mountaineers down 4-3. Silas Mose hits the top corner to keep Zion Christian alive. Setting the stage for Grant Morin, the Squire Jr. steps up to the line, and he delivers the game-winning goal. The celebration pours out onto the field after a thrilling win. Calvin Christian advances to the regional semifinals, and the Squires raise the district championship trophy. At West Ottawa High School, where the Panthers hosted Grand Haven in a district semifinal showdown. First half scoreless. Panthers have a shot from outside the box, but Eddie Bremer is there for the save, and we head into the half scoreless. Second half, good chance for the Buccaneers here, but the shot bounces off the post, and Kyler Comet jumps on it to keep Grand Haven off the board. Just under 23 minutes left to play. Brian De La Garza Ramos plays a deep ball in, and sophomore Sander Sotak is able to chase it down. He goes top shelf and puts West Ottawa on the board 1-0. Under 15 to play, Andrew Raven sends a ball into the box, and Peyton Wright is able to get a foot on it and find the back of the net to tie this up at 1. We head into OT. Buccaneer corner kick, Asa Dean sends it in. Raven gets a head on it, but it hits the crossbar, and we remain tied. Moments later, Grand Haven still pressuring. Brady Cotton with an incredibly well-placed ball off the keeper's hand. Raven is there to clean it up for the goal, and Grand Haven goes on to win this one 2-1. Holland Christian hosting Hamilton in a swim meet at the Holland Aquatic Center. We start things off with the 200-yard freestyle, and we see Holland Christian freshman Cameron Seegers take this one by over 6 seconds for the Maroons. She would also take first place in the 100-yard freestyle. Moving on to the 50 free, Holland Christian senior Maria Harris took 5th place at States last year. She picks up the win here to go with a win in the 100-yard fly, and the Maroons are off to a nice start. We check in on diving, where Sadie DuBois entered her last dive in 2nd place, but she finishes strong here and is able to come back and pick up another Holland Christian win. Back to the swimming side of things and the 500-yard freestyle. Hamilton senior Addison Grabinski put on a fantastic performance. She gets the win for the Hawkeyes, and her time is good enough to qualify her to swim this race in the state finals. Next up, we take a look at the 100-yard backstroke. Isabel Troost put up a good effort in the near lane, but Holland Christian Jr. Ruthie Ryden was too much as she adds another win to the Maroon total. Finally, in the 100-yard breaststroke, Eden Seegers caps off a great day that saw her pick up a win in the 200-yard IM with another win here, and Holland Christian picks up the win over Hamilton.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back inside the State Champs studio, along with State Champs volleyball analyst Vince Muscat. My name is Carol Lyles, and we had a huge weekend. Beast of the East, Marion actually won that tournament. What did you like from them this weekend?
Yeah, when we talk about Marion, we always talk about Izzy Buzignani, their 6 rotation outside, but a kid that really impressed me was their other outside, Kelly Lefevre, freshman outside. And Marion's so young, and Coach Mesa is a phenomenal coach, and she's just getting her team better and better. And this year is supposedly not their year, and they're still competing.
And it seems
I think
like
next
it is.
year and the year after, they're going to be really good. So a couple other teams that really impressed me, Rockford. Kelly Deliker, a good friend of mine, actually played golf the Friday before Beast of the East. I beat him in golf, by the way. He's got his team going. He's another young team this is not supposed to be his year. It's going to be next year and they're playing at a high level. Jennison was really impressive and was competing well with Marion. Northville and North Branch, a couple of our top teams, struggled on the day. You could tell it's a long day for everybody, but I think those teams are going to be able to take some of the losing that they had and really build on that. And just an exciting tournament. And then, what's funny is there's a lot of parity in all different levels. Marion won the Beast of the East, toughest tournament of the year, and then on Monday I go and watch them play SMCC, and SMCC, top D3 team, beats them in 4. So it's coming down to a fun playoff season in the next couple weeks.
Crazy time of the season, right? Just all the moving and shaking, and even in our top 10 list, we've got all kinds of different rankings going on. New number 1.
Hudsonville with a 31 match winning streak, really impressive.
Incredible.
They're our new number 1. So I could see that changing over the next couple weeks.
Well, to view that full top 10 list, you can visit statechampsw.com.
Hello and welcome to another segment breaking down the State Champs Top 25 rankings. What are those, you ask? Well, it's quite simple. We have empowered the great Scott Bernstein here to evaluate the best high school football teams in the state every week and create a top 25. You can visit statechampsnetwork.com and you can check them out for yourself. This week is our second to last top 25 ranking segment of the season. 3 squads making their debut, and deservedly so. At number 22, Birmingham Groves has won 4 straight, outscoring their opponents during that stretch 141-25. Floor is yours.
Boss moves coming from Brendan Flaherty and those Falcons gritters. Made a run to the Final Four last year in Division II, kind of out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Had a good regular season, but I don't think anybody was predicting that long run in the playoffs. They bring a lot of those guys back, including a third-year starter at quarterback, Caden Hardy, incredibly underrated as a fearless field general that keeps that offense moving in the right direction. Up front, Avery Gack, probably the best prospect outside of Bryce Underwood in the junior class. He had offensive lineman, blue chipper, just took a visit to Ohio State.
He took a visit to Michigan. He took a visit to Ohio State. We talk about it in the
he's
report if you want to check it out.
Incredibly coveted.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And he's just a terror in the trenches.
Yes.
I really like this Groves team, and I think they can make another long run in the state tournament. And their only 2 losses this year are to West Bloomfield and Southfield. Nothing to be ashamed of, and they're going to finish in second place in the white behind Southfield. But again, I think they're primed for another tournament.
Yeah, their last 4 games have been dominance on both sides of the ball. Let's move on to number 23, Saginaw Heritage. And I don't think you can start talking about Heritage without mentioning Braylon Isom, okay? 6 receptions for 129 yards, 3 touchdowns in the 41-6 win over Flint Powers last weekend. More importantly, he just tied the record for career touchdown receptions in the entire state of Michigan with 45.
The straw that stirs the drink with those Hawks. He is a human highlight reel.
He is.
He's like the MHSA's own version right now of Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase, or if you want to go back even further, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice. He is playing some unbelievable wide receiver right now, and I think an interesting tidbit is that he tied the record for most touchdown receptions in MHSA history at 45.
In a career.
He tied J.T. Jones, who was a receiver at Ithaca.
That's right.
Jones played his college ball at Miami of Ohio, and that's where Braylon Isom is headed.
For now.
For now.
We'll see if that grows, but you're right.
So right now, for the season, Isom has 55 catches, 1,100 yards, and 19 touchdowns. We talked about people knocking on the door at Mr. Football last week with Billy Roberson. I got to believe that Braylon Isom is going to make it into our Mr. Football race in the next couple of weeks.
Well, we've got one more week to make changes, and I do have a feeling that we're going to have some new additions next week. All right, last team we'll talk about today, 24th ranked Harper Woods, and talk about lopsided scoring. Over the past 2 games, Harper Woods beat Farmington 55-0. Last weekend, 34-7 over Clarkston, peaking at just the right time.
Yeah, they only have 3 losses this year, and they're all against really good teams: Groves, A&T, Lake Orion. They're battle-tested, and I have a good feeling that Coach Oden is going to bring this team into the playoffs with the wind at their back. And a lot of that, Jacob Oden, we know, probably the best safety in Michigan. He's going to the University of Michigan. He plays on both sides of the ball, the coach's son, very dynamic. The story of Harper Woods the last couple weeks has been the blossoming flower that is their quarterback, Nate Rocheleau, who is just going surgical on secondaries, carving secondaries up like a Thanksgiving turkey. He had over 500 yards passing a couple weeks ago and is just really coming into his own. And then the freshman wide receiver, Dakota Grant, is starting to make a name for himself, starting to get offers. Louisville just offered. So we can, predict that he could be on the Mr. Football watch list for 24 and 25 and 26. I'm really high on Harper Woods, and I think there were times that I wanted to try to get him in the rankings, and this is just the right time. Yeah. And now they've proven their merit, and again, they're just they're hitting on all cylinders.
Scott's final State Champs Top 25 rankings will be uploaded to statechampsnetwork.com next Monday. We'll talk about it here as we get ready for playoffs. We'll see you then. If you'd like to get a real good idea of everything LTU has to offer, I implore you attend an upcoming Visit Day. LTU has one coming up Saturday, November 18th. You're going to hear from students that currently attend Lawrence Tech. They'll talk about the small class sizes, the amazing hands-on learning that goes on here. There'll be athletes present to talk about the sports experience here, dorm life. You'll hear all about the incredible degree programs that all have a technology component to them. That's what you need. That's what the future is, right? Simply visit ltu.edu, click on the admissions tab, and then click admissions events to sign up. Super easy.
History was made out at Bear Lake High School. I had the chance to catch up with Coach Mullet. Check this out. We're here today with the varsity head football coach for Bear Lake, Coach Sam Mullet. Thanks so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
This past weekend, you guys had an historic win, the first win of the season, first win in 2 years, first shutout in Bear Lake history, and you're the first female coach to win a football game in MHSAA history. I mean, what were the emotions like after the game when that clock hit 0?
I was actually really calm. The boys were looking at me and making fun of me because I wasn't jumping around or doing anything crazy. They were like, aren't you happy that we won? And I was like, yeah, but we should have won. So, we should have won. So we did what we were supposed to do, and I got excited later when it kind of started sinking in. But right in the moment, I was like, perfect. We goal accomplished. Done. What's next?
Absolutely. And when did it really hit you that, you're making history?
I started getting texts from community members. Obviously, my brothers were texting and things like that right after the game. And throughout the game, I always get back to my phone and have text from them throughout the game as if I'm looking at my phone. But when I started to get texts from other people in the community, in around places that I've met, people from Georgia that I've met, from my other stops along my coaching career, and starting getting texts from other people, it kind of started to sink in that this was more than just, me winning a game for myself or our team here or our school. It was bigger than that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked a little bit about it, but your coaching journey, you've obviously done a lot in your experience so far. You were an assistant coach at Bear Lake, spent some time interning for the Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. Can you just walk us through that journey and some of the experiences that you've had?
Yeah, it's been a wild journey, and none of it's really been planned or expected, which has kind of been the fun of it. For me, is just seeing where the path goes. And so just as opportunities have popped up, just pushing myself to take advantage of those opportunities and seeing what comes of them, and trying to just really enjoy every stop along the way. So, I was here in Bear Lake for a while, and the opportunity came to, jump to the NFL for the summer with the Ravens. And that was quite a big jump, going from 8-man football with 70 kids in our high school up to, we're dressing 70 on an NFL roster. So things were, it's a big jump. It's all football, so it's all the same. It's all the same.
We are looking forward to seeing you guys play the rest of the season. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It was a blast.
Yeah, and congratulations. That's a quick look from this week across the state. Good luck to all the teams competing this weekend. Don't forget to head to thestatechampsnetwork.com to vote for the Mr. Football and Anvil Awards delivered by Hungry Howie's. And head to our State Champs Women's website to vote in the Volleyball Player of the Year race presented by Michigan Elite Volleyball. I'm Elizabeth Kuhn. Thanks for watching.
State Champs High School Sports Show is presented by Lawrence Technological University. State Champs is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Army National Guard, a proud partner of the MHSAA. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Athlete of the Year Awards. Applications being accepted now for the male and female high school athletes of the year. Check out previous winners and download the application today at dacathleteoftheyear.com.